Do you ever feel tired at the end of the day, but also feel like you've got nothing accomplished? Maybe you feel even too stressed to get a good night's sleep, and you wake up the next morning feeling tired and more stressed. Many people think that this is because of their day, but these problems likely start with a bad morning routine. We're all guilty. Today I'm going to cover my top 5 mistakes, including what I think is the #1 worst habit that 71% of Americans make. You heard me correct. About 71% of Americans make this mistake. First, let's start with another culprit, and that is hitting the snooze button. Hitting the snooze button is one of the first mistakes you can make in the day. You might think that getting a few extra minutes of sleep will help you with the morning drowsiness. Actually, it makes it worse. I know you're sitting there, hit the snooze button, just those couple extra minutes, 10 or 15 minutes will make it all better, but it rarely ever does. By interrupting the sleep cycle, you throw off your body's internal clock, and more often than not, you'll find yourself waking up thereafter even more tired. Now, if avoiding that button seems impossible to you, it might be signaling that you're not getting enough sleep overall. The best way to get up when you want is to get up at the same time every day. See, our bodies respond to routines, and mixing it up will leave you feeling tired at the wrong times, messing with your sleep schedule even more than if you just woke up and didn't hit that snooze button. You may have to endure a few hard mornings for this to set in, but it will pay dividends, so consider not hitting that button. #2, and this is the one I really want you to think about, and that is checking your phone. And I want you to honestly sit there and say, what is the first thing that you do when you get up? For 71% of Americans, it's grabbing that phone, and they're making this mistake. Checking your phone to catch up on what happened while you were asleep, it is tempting, and you want to see what's going on, but it's the latest bad habit on this list. It's newer in the big scheme of life, but by checking your device, you overactivate your brain while it's still waking up. It's like a plane taking off. There's a little runway before you're functioning properly. And when you first look at that phone, it sets your brain and your hormones off incorrectly. Checking your phone less frequently throughout the day is a good idea as well in general. In fact, a study from the University of British Columbia showed that professionals who limited checking their email to 3 times a day felt significantly less stressed than those who checked their email normally. Our device dependence has gotten so extreme that when a group in the study was instructed to check their email as often as they could, researchers found that most participants were already doing that. So whenever they had a free second, boom, they're checking email. When you're less stressed, you're healthier, happier, and here's the kicker, you're actually much more productive. By turning on your most important notifications, you could find that you have a better day and avoid just checking regular emails all the time like most people do. #3, putting off exercise. Exercise is one of the most important factors in our overall health, and if it were a drug that people made money off of, there'd be billionaires everywhere. It's that important, and it's not talked about enough. But you wake up feeling drowsy, and you know you should get moving. There's that inner signal that says, hey, I should get moving, but sometimes you don't. Instead, you reach for what? A cup of coffee and your phone. Now, your cortisol levels are highest here, and when you take coffee, boom, I talked about this before, you get high cortisol levels, and then you crash. But does that sound like you, your phone and your coffee? If so, you could be missing out on the best source of energy, morning exercise. Waking up your body and getting moving leads to longer lasting energy throughout the entire day, and by getting going early, you can avoid developing a morning caffeine dependence. Now, if you're like me, I often don't want to get up and go straight to the gym. I like to see how my body's feeling and see if I'm going to have an intense workout, a sport, or I'm going to lay a little low. So what do you do in that case? And I think this is absolutely perfect. Go for a walk. Gets you moving, gets all the joints lubricated in a sense, clears your mind, and then you can decide, I like to work out later in the day or do sports later after all my work is done. My mind doesn't settle until I got the base of work done that I need to get done. So walking is one of the most underrated forms of exercise. It absolutely counts. Either way, if you want to shake off that morning drowsiness, a brisk walk or run is your best option to get the day started on the right foot. No pun intended there. Number 4, a bad breakfast. In America, we love reaching for a quick carb-heavy breakfast, bagels, pancakes, and often a lot of sugar. By eating carbs in the morning, you're giving your body a quick hit, a source of energy, but not one that lasts. So when you add a carb crash on top of the caffeine crash, you're setting yourself up for afternoon failure and drowsiness. Breakfast is indeed the most important meal to get right, so try to eat high fiber, high protein foods. Absolutely avoid sugars first thing in the morning. Foods that keep you feeling full will help last throughout the day and stop you from overeating at lunch. Another problem. I start 3 days at least with an 18-hour fast. So 3 days of the week, I won't eat till about 2 or 3 in the afternoon. I do like fasting, so I don't eat breakfast all days depending on my activity level prior. Sometimes you wake up, you just need some protein, but for those of you who are into intermittent fasting and like it, that's what I do. So 3 out of the 7 days, particularly if I'm going to work, I won't eat till about 2 p.m. and that gives me a good 14 to 16 hour fast. That's what works for me. So don't think you have to eat breakfast every day or it has to be an everyday routine. It can be based on your the calories that you use the day prior. And I do, in fact, like fasting. Some of you don't eat breakfast at all. So it's really about seeing what works for you. And for those who like fasting, you can alternate. Number 5, not having a plan. This is a tough one. Not everyone's going to like this, but when you wake up and you don't have a plan, you probably won't wake up the way that you want to. To have a successful morning, you should have a plan and visualize what it would look like before it happens. I'm huge on visualization. Around 11 a.m., if you find yourself without a plan, you will wish you woke up differently. Many people like to plan the day when they wake up, but I'm a big advocate for planning it the day before. See, when we wake up, our brains are still half asleep and more susceptible to becoming stressed by creating this plan. By planning for tomorrow, our priorities form today and they're fresh in our mind, and tomorrow will be a more productive day and we've already mentally prepared for it. And we will get the things done that we want. Remain a little bit flexible, but having a concrete plan for the morning and outlining the day will help you stay less stressed while you're still achieving your goals. The morning is the foundation of our day, but when was the last time you made a change to your morning routine? Everyone, of course, is different, and we will all struggle with different habits. I want to know your morning routine. What do you think is your stumbling block in the morning? What is preventing you from having your best day ever? Like, subscribe. I put a complete playlist up here of things you can do at home to stay healthy. Make it a great one. Stay beautiful, healthy, and vibrant.